Welcome to the Theatre of Others podcast. My name is Adam Marple, and I'm the co-artistic director of the Theatre of Others. With the COVID-19 pandemic forcing a shutdown and reevaluation of space and gathering, we at the Theatre of Others are thinking about what stories we need and how best we can share them. We believe space is psychology, and it informs the way in which an audience interacts and reacts to what is presented to them. We create uniquely theatrical events in bespoke sensory performance spaces crafted to encourage curiosity and grant the audience permission to commune with the play. Now that that space has moved online, how can we encourage interaction and action amongst an audience virtually? The Theatre of Others produces plays that both welcome and challenge the audience. We are committed to international collaboration and are a laboratory that helps artists grow through intensive study of their craft. The Theatre of Others creates a shared community of artists and audiences for the purpose of exploring the most profound issues of our lives and times. We believe the play watches the audience. The audience is necessary, and they are witness to what happens. And you get to be witness to us making that happen. The purpose of this podcast is to open up our process and let you in. We're peeling back the curtain, so to speak, and encouraging you to follow along, to ponder, prod, and question, to join us and criticize us if need be. Being a witness is no passive task, and it requires much from you. Are you up for the journey? On the podcast today from Melbourne, Australia, are co-artistic directors Budi Miller and myself in Cairo, Egypt. This podcast contains explicit language.
Hi, Adam. How you going?
Hi, Budi. I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good. Do you like my ensemble?
Yeah, it's a fancy.
Yeah,
bucket
it's
hat
Paul
there.
Smith, baby.
Oh, okay.
It's vintage Paul Smith, baby.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking on the tradition of, like, you said you love me in hats, so I said, well, if I'm going to be in hats, I'm going to work the gear. And I think I'm doing well today. I really like this hat. Now, do you want to see something even more exciting?
Sure, bring it. Hair. What is going on with that hair?
I've got my Don King going on.
Yeah, you're
Don
on your
King.
way. What is going on?
He was so ahead of his time, Don King. He was so ahead of his time.
Yeah, well.
Look at that.
So folks on the podcast, we're commenting on Budi's hair, which is, a foot going towards a foot off his head.
It's got like a Patti LaBelle fan in the front.
It does. It does have. I mean, in a way, you can have like Mickey Mouse ears. You could do that.
Oh my God! I
Make
could
little
do
pigtails right there.
I
Yep.
can do Afro puffs now, y'all.
You can do
I
Afro
gotta
puffs.
go to
Oh, that's cute.
school. I gotta go to school.
God.
Oh, look at that! I look like the Joker. Crazy clown hair.
Yep, it does. It definitely has a Joker or a Groucho Marx thing going on now. Yeah.
Y'all have got to tune into YouTube and see this because I'm really working my weave.
Now you look like Wolverine.
Wolverine. I've
You
got
look like
Wolverine
Wolverine
hair.
now.
Oh my God, I'm never cutting my hair again. My husband's like, oh God, Adam, what have you done? Akshay's like, I'm so tired of this face. I wish he'd go back to my bald husband. I love my bald husband.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a free entity. I'm free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ooh, Lord, have mercy on my soul. I am free. How are you?
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty free as well. Not as free as you in this moment, but I feel pretty light. I'm feeling pretty good actually.
Wunderbar. Wunderbar is what I like to say.
Mm-hmm.
I like your mood lighting. It's like so warm. Oh my God, I feel like you're in like a lounge or something. Like you're sipping on some dark alcoholic whiskey or something and snuggling up with yourself.
I mean, I'm trying.
Oh my God! Well, I'm still in America.
Yes, I can see Chan's
Still in Amer-
apartment in the
I
background.
actually love Chan's background. It makes me feel really intelligent.
Yes.
I think I need more books in my background. I look so smart right now. Mind you, my library is 4 times as big, and I've read most of them books.
Are you throwing
Oh,
Chan under a bus right now, saying that he doesn't
this
read the
bitch
books
does.
that he
This bitch
has?
does.
And he,
She does. Trust me.
I was
She
fixing to
does.
say.
She does.
I
And
know.
she's a good reader too. She ain't got problems with reading. She could read.
Mm-hmm. She can
She
read a
has
bitch,
read a
that's for
bitch.
sure.
And she will constantly throw a bitch down with her reads. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Have you seen our video? Oh
No,
my
I haven't
God,
watched
it's
it
so
yet.
good.
I have
It's
it.
so good. It's like everyone keeps responding on like, it says 10-minute chat, and why is it 27 minutes? I said it's on colored people time. It's a black minute. 10 black minutes.
No comment.
10 black
10
minutes is
black minutes.
27
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, it's like dog years.
Who you calling a dog? Who you calling a
I'm saying that
dog?
minutes are
Dog.
DAWG.
You mispronunciated it. Dog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like dog years.
Yeah.
Come on, Adam, repeat after me. Dog.
Da-
Dog.
Dog.
Yeah.
Is that a diphthong
It's
or a
pronounced
triphthong in there?
diphthong. Don't be a dipwit. It's diphthong, triphthong.
You want a
There we go.
biscuit?
Hello. Hi, dog. Do you want a biscuit?
Hello.
What? So you have to tell
What are
them the
we
biscuit story.
I told
Well,
the
those who are
biscuit
just listening
story here
today don't
before.
know the biscuit story.
Okay, well, I was at a southern diner, and I was offered, as I was ordering my breakfast food, the waitress asked me, "Do you want a biscuit with that?" And I was stunned because I haven't heard a southern accent in so long that instead of answering her like a normal human being would do, I actually started to IPA it in my head, trying to figure out if it was a
Biscuit.
diphthong or a thriphthong. B B Y
Biscuit. A biscuit. A biscuit. Wow. Well, that means that she was
Biscuit.
quite relaxed in her zone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And did you
She
want a
definitely was.
biscuit?
She just wanted me to answer. I always
Yeah,
want
me
to be
too,
a skit.
Me too. Well, I have been in America, and it has been so healing. Can you believe it?
Really?
With all
I
the bullshit
can't,
that's going
actually.
on
It's
in
hard
this
to believe.
country, that I'm actually
Yeah.
healing. Well, I went. My whole trip was centered around going to Ashland, Oregon, to be with Ganga Ji, having satsang with Ganga Ji, having intimate
Yeah.
satsang in her living room. She only accepted 35 people in her living room to hold satsang for 2 days in Ashland, Oregon. So all y'all, if you don't know who Gangaji is by now, by knowing me and my work, you must. You must go to the Gangaji Foundation and check them out. You can also check out Gangaji online on all of her YouTube videos. She's badass. But the thing that's so amazing is that for me, as you know, my work, the linchpin of my presence work comes out of the knowledge and discoveries of Ramana Maharshi, who taught Papaji, Gangaji's teacher, and Gangaji. It's all one same lineage of self discovery, self investigation, and self inquiry, and really ultimately knowing that we are all one, and it's so beautiful, and it totally supports my philosophy of that I get from Hinduism of through you I know myself. So when I see you, I see myself, and when you go to the mountaintop and have that same experience, seeing the great teachers of our time, and they embody that vibration, the Dalai Lama, Gangaji, And I had a chat with her, like when we were chatting at the top when we were checking in. She was doing a roll call, and I was like, Kakaji, it was 20 years ago the last time we were together, and it was in Denmark, and she's like, oh my God, Denmark, and I was like, yeah, and I said, when I had a conversation with you, and I just remember saying, that I didn't need to come back because I saw in your eyes what I know to be true. And also what I experienced in Bali. All the Balinese people, I felt the same thing. It's like, so because I had been to Bali, climbed the mountain 17 times. I had been working with the priests of Bali. I knew what this vibration was, but to get it from a Western body was so exciting. And I thought that I didn't need to go back, but like when the call came out that she was meeting in person again, it's like this is the first time that we had a public gathering in 3 years since COVID. So she hasn't, she's not going to be traveling anymore, and you are going to have to, if you want to work with her, you have to go to the location. You have to go to Ashland to work with Gangaji while we still have her. She's in her 80s, and just like us, you have to go to Bali to train with us to understand really the philosophy of what we're doing. You see what I did there?
I knew what you were doing the entire time, but I'm still always remarkable
I am
how
a
we get there. It's amazing.
Segway diva. No, but it's true
Indeed,
though.
indeed.
It's not a gimmick.
It is.
This segue is not a gimmick. This
I
segue
know,
is
I
actually
know.
quite apropos. So
It
what are
is
we
very
talking about
apropos,
today, Adam
yes.
Marple?
We've got a workshop coming up at the midpoint of this year in August, and we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about all the amazing training that we are offering at this workshop, the Taksu Theatre workshop, how they intersect with each other, how they interact with each other for a performer and training that we are looking to give to young theater makers.
Next generation, y'all.
For the type of theater that we've been talking about for 3 years now on this podcast. We're putting it all together. We're putting all of the work that Budi talks about. We're putting all the work
And we're
that
going to
I
be with
talk
the
about,
Balinese.
and we're exactly. So we wanted to give over a whole podcast to talk about what it is that you would be experiencing, what to expect, and why we think this is
And
important.
also to back up
why
the
we
philosophy.
have dedicated so much
like
time
the,
to
the
this.
kind of things that we've been talking about
Yeah.
for the past. How long have we been doing this podcast? 4 years? 3 years?
3 years. 3 years.
Almost 4?
Yeah.
We're halfway there. Wow.
Yeah.
And we are in the top 5% podcasts on the planet. So there's something to be said about
Can't forget
what
that.
we're doing. And I'm just really excited that we're going to be able to do what we do with y'all. And you've been calling us and emailing us and DMing us going, yeah, this is really great. Where can I find this, Budi? Where can I find this? And so now we are in a position where the
Here it
company
is.
is going to take you through the work, and yes,
Yeah.
LaSalle students, you remember how it was. Now you can go to the next level because we on some other shit. Oh, my 9 years of PhD research
Yeah.
working really closely with the Balinese and developing the Balinese Performing Arts Training, the BPAT, and also the Budi Miller Taksu Training, so the BMTT. And so these things are now being implemented into our whole company philosophy. And we're going to be training you as actors, training you as directors, training you as writers, training you for developing new work. Because ultimately, we're looking for you to take our pedagogy and to use it and apply it into the next generation of work, which is you. Y'all are the next generation. And possibly foster new work for you. And if we really like it, we might actually produce it. So there's all these really, because
Exactly.
you know how we are with provocations. It's like, okay, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? So come, it's we talk about the retreat. We talk about the residencies. Now it's your opportunity to do both, to have a retreat and a residency with us and to work very deeply with Adam and I Andibia, the UNESCO holder of the Balinese Performing Arts, the master teachers of Bali, Ketut and Alit, working with mask makers and working with mask dances and learning the ancient court dance, the gambu. I mean, like we're really doing it, y'all, and we want you to join us. And we made it so that it's affordable, and that you're going to be able to work and live and train in the village. You'll be living with the Balinese like us. And so you'll get to experience what this taksu that we're talking about is through a fully embodied, holistic way. So that's the first kind of blanketed idea of why we are doing what we're doing, why we're here doing this podcast to talk about what we're doing in Bali. And the really exciting part is that you're going to get to work with Adam and I collaborating for the first time in a room with students. Since what year, Adam? When was it? When did we do our
2017 was the last time. Yeah. It's the last time we were together in a classroom space with each other.
2017, y'all. So 6 years. Adam and I haven't been in the room together working the magic like we do. And so and we're going to be in our home base where the whole company was envisioned.
That's right. Where it was formed, where it started.
So why now, Adam? Why do you want to come and train with me in Bali? What's happening? Why do we need to do this now? What's the call?
It's something is shifting in the universe. We in the company, we feel it. And I think we're all in a place where we are solid in our own training and what we teach. We've deepened it, but we're also still curious about it and still wanting to investigate it. But in a way where, like, before we were podcasting, before we were recording this, we were sitting down talking through our schedule and talking about combining things that we've never combined before, and it was scary and exciting and interesting to go, I've never taught that with that before. Mm-hmm. What would that even be? And that's like, I'm so solid in teaching that thing that I can go, okay, I can figure out how to do that. That's going to be really interesting. And I don't know what that's going to be like, so I'm going to be doing it for the first time. But I'm so solid in knowing that the pedagogy of what it is works, that it will work with that, and it'll actually open up and create something new.
And you can be there doing that with us.
So that's
and that's the thing. It's like we're really about the next generation. We've always been about the next generation. And we're building the company. Population as well. It's like you may become a theater of others person with us and develop work with us. Yeah. We're reaching out. We started off with the audio play festival. We still need your submissions, y'all. It's coming. Submission date is coming. So get those in. It's like we are extending out, and we're an international company. So we're inviting everyone from around the world to come and meet us in the epicenter, the heart chakra of the planet. And to do that existential creative impulse, make stuff. And we're here for it. We're creating and providing a platform for it. And then we're going to take you through some very solid pedagogical tools to help you deepen your awareness, strengthen your acting, your directing, your writing, and your composing work. And so ultimately, you will leave having a piece that you'll be able to develop in your own practice. So come ready to work, learn and work, because the model that we like to use is the training is not training; it is actually the work. Everything we're doing, and everything we do is the work. The warm up is not a warm up; the warm up is the work. Who you
Yeah,
are
it's
in
the
your
work.
body in
Yeah.
your everyday life is who you are in your body in your work. And we both are so strong on we don't train people for quick fixes. We train people for a practice, for an embodied knowledge.
Yeah.
And what greater way to do that than to do it with the Balinese, who believe that to make art is to serve God. You have to make art in Bali. If you don't make art, then they believe that you're an abnormal human being if you don't make art. It's what we've been given by God to do to celebrate God, to have conversation, to interact is a form of prayer. And you're going to get to work with the master, Iwai Andibia, who will impart his knowledge as well as his work centers where we're training and all of his libraries to get you an opportunity to delve into your own practice in life. So let us be a springboard and a catalyst for the next development of your work. So if you're ready, y'all, if you're ready to make that big move,
Come.
come train with us. It's time.
Come. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's go down to the nuts and bolts.
Yeah. Let's get nitty gritty with it.
What's the
What are
skinny?
they doing?
What's the skinny?
What are they doing?
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know that I am a lead teacher of the Fitzmaurice Voicework and the director of advanced training for Fitzmaurice teachers. So, of course,
I know this.
there will be Fitzmaurice Voicework from on a high, deep level and a very personal way. So if you've never done Fitzmaurice Voicework or if you have a full practice of Fitzmaurice Voicework, I will take you down the beautiful creative space of your body, your nervous system, your breath, and your imagination through the Fitzmaurice Voicework philosophy. And and this work has been developed in Bali for the past 20 years, and Catherine, at the beginning of my life and doing Fitzmaurice Voicework, was working with me in Bali, and I'm just really excited to share with you where the work is, because this is the thing, and that's really important is now you're going to have the time. It's 10 days for you to focus 100% fully
Just on you.
just on your practice.
Yeah.
I mean, give yourself that gift. And also because we have
Yeah.
that time, we have that time to really go deep. And for those of you who have worked with me in Bali, y'all know, this work is unmatched anywhere else in the world, especially because we have the Balinese as our custodians into the work, which is the whole reason why I began my PhD, because Taksu, this divine performance energy that the Balinese strive for in their work, exists in every culture. And I've said it many times. In Africa, Yoruba culture, it's called Ashe. In Spain, it's called Duende. In France, it's called Elan. In Japan, it's called Hana. It's the blooming of the flower. And it specifically draws its aesthetic values from Rasa, R-A-S-A, from India. And in America, we call it the zone. We call it the it factor. It's that thing that makes everyone's jaw drop and pause and turn towards whatever has the taksu. It could be a person, it could be a place, it can be an object, right? A Stradivarius, an object, a grand piano, a temple, even BAM Theater has taksu. You are in a theater, and because of the brick coming in, there's taksu in that theater. You feel it.
Yeah.
You go into a church and a cathedral,
Yeah.
and you feel the vibration of the taksu. And Dibia calls it's an aura. It's an aura that occupies the room, and you need an observer to activate it. So I'm doing something, and then the audience sees it, and then there's this vibration that comes in between us. So you'll get an opportunity to fully live in a Taksu village with a Taksu family, because all of Dibia's family, they're artists. Dibia's father created the barong dance, the famous masked lion dance that you see everywhere in Bali. Divia's father created that. You are literally inside the epicenter of the greats. You're going to be working with the great masters of Bali as well as these two little huge great masters of theater. So Fitzmaurice Voicework is you will be doing it every day, getting deeper and deeper into your body, into your practice, and also developing a practice for you to take home with you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got my, the Budi Miller Taksu Training with the BMTT, I call it, and it's really the intersection, teaching you how to intersect your cultural diasporic knowledge and experience in life, and finding how to integrate what you have learned from the West, but also what you're learning from the Balinese, and how to integrate it at the center of it. And that's where Taksu lives. When you can find that balance center within yourself with whatever influences are coming your way. So that's the core of BMTT, and you're gonna be working with that, and that translates into all the different things that we're doing. And then you're going to be doing mask work with me. You're going to be doing the mask work. We're going to be at the place where the masks were created.
Where the masks come from.
You are literally going to be at the home base with the mask makers.
Can't get closer to the
source.
source.
And the mask dancers. Yeah. Right there. I'm going to introduce you to them. You're going to learn from them. And you're going to work with the pedagogy, the full pedagogy. And there's over 350 masks in the pedagogy. So, and once again, Adam and I've spoken about this many, many times. Our work is very bespoke. So, given the company that's coming, is how we're going to design the training. It's the same way as if we're doing a show. Yeah. Who are we working with? What is our capacity to work?
Yeah.
So. That's what I'm going to be doing. What are you going to be doing, Adam?
Just a little.
What are you going to do?
Just a little something. I'm going to be doing some advanced viewpoints is what I'm going to be doing. So obviously some people may have never come across the viewpoints before. So you're going to be thrown into the deep end with it, and you'll be able to very quickly rise to the top.
If I don't know what viewpoints is, can you explain to me? We're constantly getting new listeners every week. So for those who've never heard of viewpoints. And then I'll talk a little bit about mask work as well after you, because I just kind of skipped over why mask work is so important, because we just assume that everyone knows.
Yeah, I know. We just assume everybody knows
because we want a diverse community to come in, because I have always found that when you have beginners with people who have been doing it for a long time, it creates a whole nother communal theatrical environment, and the work is incredible when it comes to that space. So can you please just talk to our listeners about what exactly is this Viewpoints thing?
So Viewpoints is it comes out of the postmodern dance world of the 60s and 70s, but it was quickly adapted for actors and performers of the theater. It's a way of looking at space and time. It's the thing that every single performer in every single genre across the world, wherever they are, they have to deal with. A Balinese dancer, a French opera singer, an Italian commedia artist, and a Brazilian capoeira artist. They're all dealing with time, and they're all dealing with space. And so from that, this was developed by Mary Overly in the postmodern dance world, and then further developed by Anne Bogart in the theater world. It is a way of breaking down, and we call it the viewpoints because it's like looking out a window, a room surrounded of windows. I'm looking out this window of spatial relationship, but behind me, tempo still exists in that window, and I can look out that window. And it's a way of going, how can I focus parts of what I'm doing and really define what it is that I'm playing with in a spontaneous way and responding to, so that I can be awake, aware, able to change, able to develop, able to create things. And so it is a way that when I use it in all of my rehearsals, I'm using it to create ensemble. I'm using it as a way to create a shared language that we can all move past the psychology of work and go straight to a language that we can share to where you figure out what it is. You are the creator. You are the painting, and you are the painter at the same time. So it's an ensemble builder for shared language. It's also an incredible warm-up for the imagination. You're warming up your body, you're warming up your voice. You need to warm up your imagination as well. You'll be warming up your imagination a whole lot in these 10 days with us. But it's also something you can take back with you. And then finally, creation of work comes out of it. So you're able to start seeing, as you're inside of it, the potentiality of staged work, the potentiality of story, the potentiality of emotion. And in a non-psychological way, you can start to sprinkle in these things into your work. And it's a complement for everything else that Budi and Dibia are all doing, because Viewpoints can take anything because it responds to anything. So so Budi and I, we have done many classes together with the Viewpoints and his work, whether it's mask, whether it's voice work, whether it's the Taksu training, clown. Absolutely, we've done plenty of those things, but it's a way of becoming more present and more aware of what is happening around you, to where you don't have to feel like you have to create, that it's already happening around you, and you just have to adjust to it. You just have to look at it. You just have to understand that, if I took care of the tempo, this would tell the story better. If I just took care of the topography, it would change this altogether. It's an awareness and a presence that is a beautiful practice. I've been doing it for quite a long time, and I'm very excited to incorporate it into this work at a very advanced level.
Well, and I'm going to join in with the mask work as well, because I guess it's really a great segue into what I was talking about. The mask work is that the reason why mask work is so important for actors is that it gives the actor a visceral understanding of what it feels like to embody a role, to embody an imaginative space. Because the masks, they are just wood, and they don't come alive until your body comes alive. And you'll find that through the work that you do with me, that you'll find the magic and power of your own energy and your own impulses. And it pushes you outside of trying to think what you want to do and move into actually doing it. So, and then you'll be in Bali with the mask makers. You're gonna be in Bali. That's literally why I ended up in Bali, was the mask work. I was training in mask work, and the mask came from Bali, and I was told that in order for me to really, really, truly understand the material, I had to go to Bali in order to do it. And it changed me forever. It changed my life forever. And it's, I'm a bibliophile, a baliophile. I'm a baliophile, so
yeah, exactly.
It's a one-track road for me, but all the people that I've taken to Bali to train are now doing very, very well in their craft. And, and on so many different levels of their artistry, there are Emmy Award actors. They are, Marvel actors. They're on stage in DC right now, performing in apparently the best adaptation of King Lear. Julian Elijah Martinez, who's doing Edmund at the Shakespeare Theater in DC. He's badass. I'm actually going to go see him. I'm so excited. You know what he got? Sorry, I got to segue. I'm sorry, I have to segue because I just feel like the serendipity of life is so extraordinary, y'all. When he got cast in this role, I was like, I'm going to see it. I don't know how I'm going to see it. I need to see you play Edmund, because it is a perfect casting. It's a perfect casting. It's a perfect casting for him.
Role. That's great.
And I was like, I need to see your interpretation of this role. And then how my life is today, I'm in America serendipitously, and I can go see it. And I can go see it on my birthday, Adam. 2 days from now, my birthday, y'all. March 30th. It's Kajengkliwan in Bali, which is a very, very good day in Bali, Kajengkliwan. It's a very strong day. So they have several calendars. They have 3 calendars that they use for for their life. There's a spiritual calendar that's ruled by the moon, and then there's the astrological calendar, and then there's the calendar that we all use around the world. And there's a point every month, once or twice a month, where all the calendars meet on the same day, and that's called Kajenkli 1, the conjunction day, and that day is on the 30th. So I'm so excited because my best friend and driver Wyan Taiwan and I have the exact same birthday. He's exactly 10 years younger than me. So I'm turning 50, he's turning 40, and it's on Kajenkli 1. And so Kajenkli 1 is the day that you charge your spiritual objects. You charge your spiritual objects on Kajenkli 1. You do ceremony, you do performances. It is the day for making your art really strong. So yes, You must go to Bali. You must go to Bali. And we actually have a Kajenkli 1 on our day when we're there. We have a Kajenkli 1 and a new moon when we're working. So those are going to be also really big days with our work as well. Can you tell I'm really excited? I'm so excited. This is Adam, this is excited. It's coming home. We're coming home. And they can come home with us. This is going to be amazing. Y'all, Singaporeans, y'all, come on. Y'all keep talking about you miss us. Come on now. Let's do it, y'all. Let's do it. It's time. South Africa, let's do it. America, let's do it, y'all. Australia, come on, y'all. You've been wanting to go to Bali. Those who haven't made it to Bali, those who want to go back to Bali, and you get to work with the two masters and the Grand Poobah, Iwayan Dibia. I mean, come on, y'all. That's all I gotta say. I'm dropping the mic. No. But you're teaching more, Adam, aren't you? Oh, my God. But wait, and there's more?
There's more, exactly. Yes, I will also be teaching composition and directing. So I'll be doing moment work, which is some people have taken a version of this in class before. But this is going to be very specifically geared to these 10 days. And it's going to be combined with all of these things. So it's actually going to be from an actor's perspective. How can the actor make moment work to better clarify what it is that they're doing? So how can they also be in charge of their space? How can they also be in charge of their scenery? How can they also be in charge of their costume? How can they be in charge of all the other elements that are not their body, that are not their imagination, to clarify and expand the story out? So it's not just what you're saying, it's not just why you're saying it, it's also how it's being said or how it's being seen to further develop it. And so we'll be doing something called moment work, which is breaking things down in a very kind of a Viewpoints way, breaking the atoms of theatrical process down into just looking at space, just looking at costume, just looking at light, and how the things itself, those little elements itself, are telling a story already. So why not use and manipulate and exploit them in the best meaning of that word, I know, to actually get more juice out of it. So it's not just you're wearing a costume, but the costume itself is also telling a story. It's not you're not just in a light, but the light is also telling a story. And how you as a performer, not as just a director, not as a designer, but as a performer, can be in charge of that as well.
I mean, that makes the best film actor, one that can control their environment. I mean, and you believe their environment because they're in control of it. I mean, it's gonna be so good. Oh my God. And, you're also going to be working with, I'll say it again, Iwayan Dibia. And what you're going to be working with Iwayan Dibia, as the specialist he is, you're going to be training in gamelan, which is like the best ensemble trainer. Because with the gamelan orchestra, it's not the sound that it makes when you hit the instrument. It's the ringing of the instrument that you're trying to do what it's called interlocking. So it's a three-dimensional listening and an ensemble trainer because you have to be open to everyone contributing to the vibration. And then the rhythms and the structures of the gamelan go directly into the kecak, which Iwan Dibio wrote the book on the kecak, and he's an expert on the kecak. He's even developed new forms of kecak that you'll be learning as well, which is the vocal chanting, choral chanting that is exclusively Balinese. It's the closest you're going to get to understanding what happened in a Greek chorus. And it's if you know the movie Baraka has a really great kecak singing, but it's funny. It's really funny because I know kecak so well now. It's actually not that good of kecak. It's not like DB
Yeah.
calls crispy, like a like crispy. It's not crispy. And my students have gotten crispy kecak, and it's like and it's a layering of 7 to 9 rhythms depending on how many voices there are going to be in the space. Starting with cha 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 cha
Yeah.
cha 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 cha, and then layering cha 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 cha, and it's so beautiful, and we'll put up a clip of our show. We didn't do a clip of the show of Kool-Aid and Wine when we did the vocal kecak, and then I was on top of that. We'll put that
Yeah.
we'll put that up on the website as well, so you can actually see how I have contemporarily for the moment I have contemporarily.
You're a PhD candidate.
I can make my
you can
own
make up your own
words.
words. You've already said this before.
Contemporarily
Yeah.
used kecak in my one-man performance about the story of my life in art. So that's also going to be developing all your composition.
Underneath all
You're
of
gonna be
that,
utilizing
exactly.
all of this stuff into making your work. And then you're also going to learn the Balinese dance forms, the movement patterns and forms from the most famous Gambu dancer in all of Indonesia. So Gambu is the oldest court dance of Bali. So all Balinese movements come from the Gambu in some way. And Ketut from the Kakul Dance Company, they are Ketut Wartini are from the house of Iketut Kantor and Kakul company. So it's like I'm actually just like seeing the image of the house because you go into the house to see them. They perform for you. Their entire company perform for you in their home. It's incredible. And I could just see Ketut and his dancers training the students like always, and it's amazing watching how far they go in such a short amount of time. Because the Balinese are humble with human beings, and they meet you at where you are. So that's why I love the Balinese training, because everyone is, no matter what level you are as an actor, you're on page 1 when you're entering into these new forms. And then after you learn and work with Kantor, you're gonna expand into mass training with Ida Bagus Ali, my very first teacher, and he's the first mask maker to actually do contemporary imaging with traditional forms. And he's he's our master, and we still have him, and he's still very strong. He's going to teach you the Panasar, which is the clown that comes out and translates everything. And it's very close to Comedia, where there's Latsi moments. There's structured moments, and then there's Latsi moments where you have improvisation and you interact. And once again, that's going to go into your composing. So I mean, that's in a nutshell why you all should be booking your tickets right now and putting in your first payment and coming and say, I'm coming. Let's do this.
Exactly.
Please let the Balinese heal you like they healed me and Adam, and show you what art is, and mature you into understanding your value and placement in this world of making theater.
Yeah.
Because the Balinese theater is unmatched. I mean, there's a whole reason why Anthony Artaud wrote that whole manifesto, y'all. And he was off because he was looking at it through his colonial white male eyes. So he was limited in how to explain what he saw. But he did see Taksu. He did, but he was limited in how to articulate it. But he was right that artists need to go and train in Bali if they want to really go to the next level in their work. Because the Balinese are really unmatched when it comes to making art. You'll see it when you first arrive. You'll feel it.
Yeah. It's something. I mean, yeah, it's something else. It is. You get into that airport, and every airport sucks. But then you get into that airport, and it's just like, why does it smell different? Why does it taste different? Why it just feels something has happened inside of my body on a cellular level. What is happening?
We need to get Jack to come as well. Jack needs to be he needs to come and do a residency. He needs to do something. He needs to come and work and just work on gamelan and kecak the whole time. Because I remember when he was trying because I had to retrain his ear. Because the Balinese don't do the same downbeat as the Westerners.
Yeah. It's not
the Western time scale because the West is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so Jack was trying to put that on to the Balinese, which is 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like, and so it was driving him bonkers. It was so fun to watch, though. It was so fun to see him figure it out. When he would stop thinking, and this is the thing about training in Bali, it forces you to stop thinking. And I've told my students this so many times. Everything in Bali is difficult. There's nothing easy in Bali. It's if you want to learn something, they start from the bare basics, and it's hard. It's difficult, but it's because it requires you to take your Western ideas and your frontal lobe control, be in your brainstem and your body, and let your body show you how to do it. Because as soon as you start thinking in these forms, you lose your steps, you lose your balance. But if you stop thinking and go into the actual doing of it, it becomes this like insane sense of flow, and we're definitely talking about Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. Flow, that contributes to Taksu. Oh my God, we're going to Bali, y'all! Woo! It's like winning an Academy Award or getting a role. Oh my God, we got the role! Yay! Anything else you want to add, Adam?
I mean, there's not going to be a better time than now. I'll just say that. I mean, we've talked about this before in these residencies and retreat episodes. We've talked about training for 3 years now. You know us well if you're listening to 165 episodes in. There's not going to be a better time than now. The world is always going to be difficult. There's always going to be financial difficulties. There's always going to be these things, but this training only comes around. I mean, like you said, we have not been in the room together, training together in 5 years, 6 years.
Training others, right? Because we have to work at us. Like when we're creating work, we have a shorthand. But training the next generation is what's going to be happening, and it's so exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. So go ahead and figure out how you're going to get there. Put in that deposit. Go to the website, theaterofothers.com. It's placed right there broad on the front page. Follow that information. We've got so much more information about this training, about us, about Debia, about the other people, the accommodation. All that's really there. We've thought it all through. This is the experience that we wish we had as young performers as well. And God, I can't even imagine what our life would have been if we had this intersection and then went back and started doing our own work instead of coming into it now. So yeah.
Well, I think the other thing is that
come and do it.
You gotta if it scares you, you should do it. If it's like, oh my God, that's amazing, I'm so scared, that means you should do it because it's going to push you out of your mundane, everyday way of doing things, and getting the cultural benefits of interacting with cultures outside of your own, or even for those who are from Indonesian culture, they find something else as well. Like I have so many Indonesian students that I've worked with that are like, I have known this work. I mean, Balinese, like, I have Balinese students that are like, I have known this work, but I have never looked at it from this way. And this is why Pat DB and I have been working so closely for so long, and why he's been, the real soldier for my research, is because I have found a entrance that even the Balinese don't even use and understand and reflect on, and how it interacts with us as artists, and it comes from my own knowledge of self, and my own cultural embodiment of the material, and that's how we are able to move research and theater and practice to the next level. How we move out of the 21st century and go into the 22nd century. It's like we're way past 20th century training. So if you're still locked into the dead gurus and the dying mentors of those philosophies, and I literally do mean dying, because they're all dying. All those teachers that have been holding up that 20th century's philosophy, they're dying or already gone. This is the movement, y'all. Get on board. Join us for this next movement forward, especially if you're seeing theater that you can't stand. If you can't stand it, why aren't you making something better? This is an opportunity for you to do that. Yay! So let's go to a break so they can contemplate. Jakina, can you put some contemplative, spiritual, in-depth, soul-opening, heart-feeling, get ready to go and work music, please? No pressure.
No pressure. No pressure.
Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary conforming individuals, you are listening to the stereo sounds of JDB, Jack David Burmester. So, Adam, do you have any provocations?
So I was listening to this podcast. Yeah. Go to the website. Go to the website and sign up.
Yeah.
That's the only provocation, clearly. We talked for 50 minutes about this thing.
Yeah.
Go and do it. Go and do it. Go sign up.
If you are on the fence, this is my provocation. If you're on the fence, if you want to know more information, email us. Have a chat with us.
Yeah.
I'm at budi@theatreofothers.com. Adam's at adam@theatreofothers.com. Email us directly. Have a chat with us. Right. If you want to know more about what we're doing, if you have more questions, we are available. The work works. We know the work works. So we are really happy to hear more about your curiosity.
Yeah. There have been so many people who have gone and
hundreds,
done this work,
hundreds,
and I've never found anybody who's regretted it or thought, it was okay. Like they always come back and they're like, holy
and always
shit.
want to go back.
And then
they're always asking me, when are we going to do it again?
Exactly.
When are we going to do it again? When are we going to do it again? Well, now you know, y'all. Clear your schedules.
Yeah.
And I got a message from one of my students. So it's like, I'm working. See, this is the problem. We train you to work. You get working and having the time to go and work on your stuff is hard, but do your best. He was like, exactly. I think maybe I could chuck a sickie for a couple shows. I was like, come on now.
But it's an investment in yourself. It really is. It's an investment in yourself that will pay off dividends in your work to come. So, yeah. August 19th to the 29th, go to the website, find out the information there, reserve your spot. Reserve your spot because it's not like we're going to be able to take hundreds of you. You know, we're only going to take a very select number just because you're living in the village and they can't take everybody.
So first come, first serve, y'all. Get on it. Yeah. I know. And then, you know, the first payment, hold your spot. You know, it holds your spot.
Yeah.
And get your tickets. Get your plane tickets, y'all. Get your plane ticket. Yeah. What are other ways that they can get a hold of us, Adam?
Well, if they wanted to, I don't know, maybe talk about their experience in Bali and talk about the work.
That's another provocation. Wait a minute, y'all.
Speakpipe.com.
I would love to hear from y'all that have done the work and how it's changed you. That's so good for others to hear. That's another provocation. Okay, fam. All right, fam. Send us. If we need to call your names out, we will. Send us your feedback on exactly how pivotal your Balinese training was. So how can I do that, Adam?
Speakpipe.com /Theater of Others. Again, speakpipe.com. Theater of Others, Theater with R-E, Theater of Others, all one word. Like a 90-second voice message there. Tell everybody in the world how amazing, how amazing this work is. You can also send an email to podcast@Theater of Others. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, and our website. That's right. And to learn about all the other great things we've got coming up, the other workshops we have going on, not just this one. Yeah. We have other workshops this year. Work with Others that's coming up. The Audio Play Festival, and some other surprises that we've got going on. What do they need to do?
Subscribe, y'all. The only way you're going to know what's going on is you got to get into the party, and that's how you do it with subscription. And if you really like us, you can do what my Uber driver does. You can give us 5 stars. 5 stars. I give you 5 stars. You give me 5 stars. 5 star, 5 star, 5 star. And if you really like us, leave a comment. Leave us a comment. I mean, those things go really far. You know, when people are seeing that you're listening and why you're listening, it just opens up to the community. You know, we are theater people, and we are out there to find the other theater people and be the source for theater people. We are we come to you every single week and give you a little bit more theater.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam, it's so good to see you.
And
we're going to be in Bali in a few months. Not soon enough, but soon. 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months from now.
I love you so much.
Oh, I can't wait. I love you too.
And for the rest of y'all, we'll be back next week. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Theater of Others podcast. Make sure to visit our website, theaterofothers.org, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. A special thank you to Purple Planet for the music you've heard. The Theater of Others creates a shared community of artists and audiences for the purposes of exploring the most profound issues of our lives and times. We believe the play watches the audience. The audience is necessary, and they are witness to what happens. And you get to be witness to us making that happen. The purpose of this podcast is to open up our process and let you in. We're peeling back the curtain, so to speak, and encouraging you to follow along, to ponder, prod, and question. to join us and criticize us if need be. Being a witness is no passive task and requires much from you. Are you up for the journey? Be sure to tune in next week for our next journey.